So it's the first of the quarterfinal matches on Stadio Pietrangeli. Juan Martín del Potro, number 5 seed, up against the defending champion, Novak Djokovic. Djokovic won the toss and has elected to serve first on the far end. All matches here, the best of 3 tiebreaker sets.
Prima partita al servizio Novak Djokovic. Ready? Play.
Enjoy.
15-0. 15-0.
That's going to be important for Djokovic. Not need to go with the pacey shots, Chris, but use those short angles to outmaneuver Del Potro.
Trenta-15. 13-15.
Certainly Del Potro just needs to be careful with how many short balls he hits. Djokovic really taking full advantage.
Djokovic.
Oh, 4 or 5 first serves.
First game.
Clean ball striking early on. Looks like he's a man on a mission.
Yeah, he's sending a good message out. So important early on in the match is to really show your opponent what you're going to do, what you're capable of. That kind of scares them, doesn't it?
Just tells them that you mean business early on. If they are feeling a little jaded or a little nervous, well, it just compounds the problem. The first couple of games, always a good opportunity for the favoured player to impose himself on the underdog.
There. 15 down.
Just the 1 semi-finals for Del Potro at Master Series level. That was in Miami just a couple of weeks ago. Quarterfinalist in Indian Wells the week before, and Madrid at the tail end of last year. Inexperienced at this level, given he's ranked number 5 in the world. He'll definitely have a little bit of butterflies in the stomach.
He also is, well, it's his second match on centre court, so he's Should be used to the arena that he finds himself on.
In all fairness, the centre court appearance against Viktor Troitsky was in a slightly different atmosphere to this one. It was late in the evening.
15:30.
Weren't too many spectators around. It was late. A much more electric atmosphere this afternoon.
Well, always nice when you can get a few cheap points in your serve early on. Does settle the nerves.
Well, he's been a model of consistency this season. Just the 1 second round in Monte Carlo that you were talking about, Chris, but apart from that, it's just a win, a couple of quarters, 4 quarters and 1 semis for Del Potro. Remember, he went in that big tear in the summer last year, winning 4 tournaments in a row.
And for me, that's exactly what Del Potro has to play like today. He really needs to take the initiative in the points where possible and look to use the big forehand.
Everybody's chasing Fernando Gonzalez in that department, who was regularly hitting his forehand over 160 k's an hour yesterday. Such a sensible shot from Clay. Especially when it's so difficult to hit the ball through the court, isn't it?
Yeah, very sensible. Go back behind the opponent, just keep them off balance. And both players, when they are moving at the moment, finding it a little bit difficult to keep their feet in. Just like the fact that he was prepared to play the short angle.
Parità, deuce.
Those 4 tournaments that he won in a row last summer. Started on the clay courts in Stuttgart, won Kitzbühel the next week, then went into the hard courts and won LA and Washington.
Let. Primo servicio.
Quite an unbelievable run. A lot of the big boys were in Beijing for the Olympics. Still an incredible feat.
Djokovic a little bit fortunate during the course of the rally.
Vantaggio Djokovic.
A bit of a shank.
It's going to happen on clay. Bounce isn't always consistent. It's part of playing on the surface, and you just got to deal with it mentally. Let's compensate for that by standing a little bit further behind the baseline, so if there is a bad bounce, they've got time to adjust to the shot. If you're trying to half volley it all the time, it becomes very risky tennis.
Djokovic.
Well, a nervy start from Del Potro.
Djokovic conduce 2-0.
4-4 series. The fourth of those hands Djokovic, the first break of serve.
The way the rallies are being developed at the moment, for me, Del Potro really can't afford to be defending all the time. It's so much better when he's getting forward and trying to dictate the point.
No question about that. He has a liability. It is his movement. It's still pretty good, don't get me wrong. Doesn't defend nearly as well as what he attacks.
Zero 15, love 15. Zero 30, love 30.
Well, he's shown some pretty good results at these Masters events so far in the year. He was a quarter-finalist in Indian Wells, where he lost to Roddick, which was not a great match, but a runner-up in Miami and Monte Carlo. In Miami to Murray, who's been one of the hottest guys on tour, especially on a hard court, and then obviously in Monte Carlo 2 weeks ago lost to Nadal. That was a great match.
Out. 15-30, 15-30.
It was the first time Nadal had lost a set in Monte Carlo since 2006. Even early on in the third there, Djokovic had plenty of chances. The first 3 games lasting almost 40 minutes.
Certainly Djokovic getting a much better length. He's doing well, just keeping Del Potro back behind the baseline, so Franco Davin, Del Potro's coach, would probably want to see him get a little bit more forwards.
That's the problem that you saw in the last rally, that if he does try and stay up close to the baseline and Djokovic holds good length, it's not easy to time that half volley on clay.
Da 40, 30-40. Out. Djoko del Potro.
Oh, easy come, easy go. Got the early break.
2 games to 1.
Handed it straight back to the Argentine. They're on serve. Only one of the top 5 missing in the lineup this week is Andy Murray, who was a second round casualty to Juan Monaco. Monaco's continued with his good form. He'll be up this evening. It's Fernando Gonzalez.
We might see a bit of variety there. First drop shot of the match. And obviously a good tactic to use against Del Potro, who is standing quite a way back behind the baseline. There's plenty of room in the forecourt.
Look how low he got for that drop shot. Got the knees nice and low down to the same level as the ball.
Love 30.
Much better from Del Potro.
15, 30, 15,
Here is where he
30.
takes the ball from. Much more inside the baseline.
Fantastic return. 213 k's per hour.
15, 40.
Biggest serve Del Potro has thrown down at Djokovic. Returned with interest. He's only won 5 of the last 14 points on serve, has Del Potro. Fantastic point construction. Exactly what he wanted to achieve with it. Just with the drop shot. It's delicate lob over the backhand side of Del Potro, really exploiting his movement beautifully.
Yeah, I can see that one coming. Now what Djokovic needs to do is learn from the last time he got the break and just focus and play a much more solid game. So it's really good to get the first point under your belt.
Trenta 0. 30 love.
And a good change up with the serve, good variety. Del Potro not able to pick it.
Quaranta-zero, 40 love.
Well, momentum watches on. 7 of the last 8 points going the way of Djokovic.
No! 40-15, 40-15. Quaranta-30, 40-30.
He's been hitting it inside out forehand beautifully. 156 kilometers an hour.
Conduce 4.
Djokovic, comfortable lead, 4-1. Well, his last regular Masters Series title was here 12 months ago. Obviously, he won the Masters Cup at the end of the year. But there's always that feel-good factor, Chris, when you come back to places of former glories. What was it for you? Did you always feel like you played particularly well during certain stages of the year you enjoyed more than others?
Yeah, absolutely. Being English, I enjoyed playing the tournaments on grass. So, enjoyed being, at Wimbledon. Crowd get behind you. Always felt comfortable in that environment.
What about on the road? Anywhere you played particularly well?
Had some good sort of results of some of the indoor circuits in Germany. Again, for me, it's a lot depended on the surface as well. Was quite an important factor.
Sì, tutti, grazie. I giocatori sono pronti, grazie. Quindicesimo, 15.
First serve percentage right on 50. So have to serve a lot better. He wants to compete with Djokovic in this one. What a difference a few first serves make. Chris, 2 first serves, wins both the points.
And by doing that, just allows him to dictate with the second shot. Interesting there on that last point, he actually slowed the first serve down and made sure he gave it plenty of kick. But most importantly, made sure he got the serve in. See that being a tactic that Djokovic is going to use quite often now during the match. There's good successes there of bringing his opponent fours to the net where Del Potro isn't most comfortable, doesn't move so well in the net position.
40-15, 40-15. Djokovic conduce 4-2, 4 games to 2.
It's a much better service game. Should feel more settled in this match now. Should Del Potro.
Zero, 15, love 15.
Go about searching for that breaker serve, and it's always a good way to start, winning the first point of the game.
Doing a really good job here, opening up the court, playing really close to the lines.
Great serve into the body.
30-15.
Such a good serve when you're playing against a tall, lanky opponent. Well, he spread the court well. I think that's been the difference between the two so far in this match.
40-15.
Right at the top draw. Confident 5-2 lead for Djokovic. So it's a subtle difference, but at the highest level, it's those subtleties that make a big difference, and that's why the scoreline is what it is. That's more like it.
He heard us. That's exactly what he needs to do.
15 love.
It's so rare during the course of the match so far, and we've seen Del Potro being in charge of rallies.
Hello.
That's a beautiful return. Short take back, just blocking it down to the line.
Used all the pace of the oncoming serve there and just redirected it back.
Trenta 15, 13-15. 45. 40-15.
Serving a lot better as well now. Last 2 service games. A bit closer to the line. Resulting in a few more free points.
Quaranta 30, 40-30. Gioco del Potro. Djokovic conduce 5-3, 5 games to 3.
Oh yeah, good look in Djokovic's last serve game, so he'll draw strength from that fact. So a chance for Djokovic to bag the opening set. Not a good way to start.
15 love.
So I'm going to try and make life difficult for Djokovic. Can't afford too many cheap points. 11 unforced errors for the Argentine.
This Djokovic is matching his unforced errors with plenty of winners.
30-0.
Beautiful disguise on that first serve. Looked like he was going to shape for the kick serve out wide, but at the last minute just snapped around the side of the ball.
It's interesting on that second serve from Djokovic, majority of them he's going to the body of Del Potro, really jamming him up.
That's frustrating him. It's a very good tactics. Djokovic, no doubt, has done his homework, and his reward, a couple of set points. Finishing it off in style. Ace number 3 seals the deal for the number 3 seed and defending champion. 6-3, first set. Chris, one of the criticisms we had of Del Potro was that whenever he came against the real top boys, the quad squad of Nadal, Murray, Federer, Djokovic, he always seemed to struggle prior to that match in Miami where he finally got the better of Nadal. Remember, he was down 3-love in the third. But prior to that match, he really had played poorly against the big boys.
Segunda partita.
Offered very little resistance, so it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out, because he's shown us that against everybody else, he can handle what they got.
Really off that first set. I mean, we both mentioned you know, he did struggle in the first set, and that really sort of highlighted that. I just feel quite often when he plays, he's quite one-dimensional. Yeah, there's not a lot of variety there. I mean, he's not seeing an awful lot of slice backhands, not too many advances to the net. You know, it's all the same. I was thinking against the bigger boys, he needs to add something else to the equation.
And I think for a South American, he's one of the guys, one of the rare guys where this is not his best surface. I think his best surface is a hard court. But saying that, he's won tournaments on clay. But I think his style of tennis, the way he hits the ball so flat, is that's better. Getting back to my point, Chris, I think the fact that he hits the ball relatively flat is a lot more suited to hardcore tennis than what it is to clay, where you have to use a lot more spin. Spin is a lot more effective on the surface as well. It's very difficult to get the ball penetrating through the court on clay if you're hitting the ball flat. For me, he's also a very aggressive player. That's his style. And I think on clay, you have to have a good balance of aggressive tennis, but you also got to know when to defend and how to defend well on the surface. That's something he needs to work on.
You've got to be able to build the points as well. Just be a little bit more patient early on in the rallies.
Only has to just touch to be good. That would be an interesting one, Chris, if the rule in tennis was that the majority of the ball had to be either in or out. I'd like to see the umpires make some of those calls, whether they thought 50% of the ball was on the line or not.
And the other one you were calling during the week was no nets on the serve.
I'm a big fan of that, as is our director. I know he's a keen tennis fan as well as Guy, and we also agree that get away with the lets causes more hassle than what it's worth.
What do you think about a sudden death at deuce? Are you a fan of that?
Well, they do it in the doubles now, Chris, as you know, and I think it's too much of a crapshoot. I think too much luck involved there. But, as far as the let goes, I think it's totally fair. You know, you don't replay a point if a guy hits a dead net cord in the middle of a rally. Why should it be any difference off the serve? And it happens so rarely.
0-15. Love 15.
Really, Djokovic at his best.
15.
Executes that backhand down the line so well. From an open stance as well. Good balance around the ball.
Nice and low with the legs. Good base to work off.
30-15.
Well, his up the line shots always a barometer of how well he's playing, how well he's striking the ball.
30-15.
He's taken to the clay courts in Europe. He's striking it very, very sweetly.
I mean, there's a better forehand from Del Potro, just finding a bit more of an angle, but he's had a little bit more spin on the ball.
Such a pity because he worked the point beautifully.
40-30.
Djokovic on the ropes, giving him body blows. Just couldn't deliver the killer punch. Eleven of his 15 unforced errors coming off that forehand side. Needs a little bit of fine tuning.
Again, good combo from Djokovic, using the kick serve to get his opponent out of the court. That allows him to use the backhand down the line. Rare occasion there of seeing Del Potro coming forwards to the net and Djokovic be kicking himself not to at least make his opponent play the volley.
Thirty 15. 40-15. 40-15.
First serve percentage up around 60 now for Del Potro. He's made it.
$40-30. Del Potro.
Serving much better in the second set.
Del Potro conduce 2-1. 2 games.
More fired up as well. The Potro 2-1 second set. It's quarterfinals day here at the 4th Masters 1000 event of the season. Rob Koenig alongside Chris Wilkinson for the first of the quarterfinal matches on Stadio Pietrangeli. Djokovic started confidently in the opening set, looking to reduce the arrears here in the second. He's played particularly well this week, dismantled Tommy Robredo in his previous match, and looking to build the confidence with each and every victory. He's got 1 foot in tomorrow's semi-finals.
Per favore. Per favore, seduti, grazie. Zero 15 la 15. Grazie.
Much better play there from Del Potro. Got up to the ball nice and quickly. That's exactly the way he needs to play in the second set.
Quindici 30. 15-30. Quindici 40. 15-40.
A real opportunity now for Del Potro to get an early break in the second set.
30-40. Yes.
Well, his forehand has been a liability today. There's no question about that. A double amount of errors versus Djokovic's forehand. Djokovic has managed his forehand beautifully in the match so far. Hasn't gone for too much. He's found the right balance. And again, that approach shot right there. Didn't try and hit the balls too close to the line. He knew
Djokovic.
Del Potro was going to get to it, but the chances of Del Potro hitting a winner from there probably 1 out of 20.
Let. Primo servicio. Parità, deuce.
I never felt that Djokovic was really in the right position to execute the drop shot. Wasn't able to move forwards to it.
Vantaggio Djokovic.
It's outstanding gift. And again, spreading the court beautifully, corner to corner stuff.
Due giochi pari. 2
We
games
saw so
on.
much of Djokovic at the beginning of last season. That kind of shot making. So accurate with his groundies from the back of the court. When he's hitting the ball that well, it's a nightmare to play against because you have to cover so much court. And he's got the option of taking it early as well, Chris.
Yeah, similar to the way Nadal played yesterday against Sodling, was able to maneuver the opponent around, just keep them moving, keep them running. And it's tough to play against. That's why you've got to get on top of the rallies to dictate the points. Really smart play for Djokovic, again, building the point, using the off forehand, but hitting a beautiful angle from the shot. Again, Del Potro standing way back behind the baseline, which does allow Djokovic to play the shorter shots.
Yeah, and too many balls at the middle of the court again, Chris. Up the middle and short. It's not a good combination. Those are some good numbers from Djokovic, especially on his forehand side.
Love 30.
Same guy that foot-faulted Andy Murray at 5-all in the final set against Monaco.
You have to get a close-up of him. It's a tough one. You can't really dispute a foot fault.
40.
I mean, it's highly unlikely a guy's going to call it just for the hell of it. Got to crack on. He's turned things around beautifully. He's won 8 of the last 9 points.
Quindici, 40. 15-40.
First one of the set. 200 on the button.
Djokovic.
It's Djokovic who eventually draws first blood here in the second set. Got a set and a break.
Grazie, giocatori sono pronti. Quindici 0, 15 love. Quindici pari, 15 all. 15-30, 15-30.
Djokovic just needs to be careful he doesn't allow Del Potro back into this match. We're finding a few first serves.
Pari. Tokyo.
Good second serve, deep, chiseling away at his forehand.
30. Djokovic.
A really good change of pace there from Djokovic. Very solid service game to back up the break.
4-2, 4-2.
What do you make of his performance so far, Chris?
Very solid. I think similar to the match against Robredo, I just don't think he's being stretched enough by his opponent. But he's doing exactly what he needs to do. More sensible from Del Potro. Going back behind Djokovic. I think gives him the chance to dominate the point. Again, haven't seen an awful lot of this.
Tentazione, 30 love. Quarantatero. 40 love. Gioco del Potro. Palle 9 per favore. You balls please.
So he manages to stay within touch. Still Djokovic who leads by a set and a break. the last smile is because he knows he should have made that one.
0-15 love 15.
Yeah, this shot here from Djokovic didn't need to be that close to the lines.
Plenty of room and court to work with then. Even if it wasn't a winner, he would have been in such a strong position on the point. Anything down the line would have sufficed.
Indicipal. 15 all.
So often from Del Potro in this match, just throws in the cheap point. Return a serve. 16th forehand unforced error of the match. 24 in total.
Change of pace again, Chris. Just 169 Ks. Plenty of kick.
Trenta. 40-30. Let, primo servizio. Djokovic.
Been a nightmare for him on the forehand. Del Potro can't find the court with it.
Djokovic conduce 5-3, 5 games to 3.
He's doing nothing more than maintaining some good depth and asking questions of Del Potro. There's no room to maneuver now for the Argentine. Feel on that backhand.
Oh, great touch from Djokovic. Really good shot selection. Excellent disguise. But the whole of that rally, he had Del Potro on the go.
Segundo servicio. Quindicesima, 15. 15:30, 15:30.
I tell you what, that was close.
30 pari, 30.
The first time we've seen Djokovic had a crunching return off a big first serve. That one again almost catching Del Potro unawares. Well, again for me, Chris, it's been one of those matches where Del Potro has been up against one of the big boys where he really has failed to impress. Gifted Djokovic his first match point. That's more like it.
Yeah, really went after the serve on this occasion. That's the sort of rally I've been wanting from Del Potro during the course of the match. Patient build-up, and then using the big forehand, just dominating the point, and not letting Djokovic settle on the back of the court. It's been very few and far between those sort of rallies for the Argentine.
job to hang about. Djokovic will come out and serve for the match. First of the quarterfinal matches on the stadium court today. And it's Novak Djokovic who's got 1 foot and 1 shoulder in the door. The semi-final berth. Can he advance all the way?
El otro. Yeah.
Another good serve. Again, it was that body serve that's given him a hard time all day. Plumb on the line.
It's
so important here for Del Potro just to keep that ball in court, try and put the pressure on Djokovic, just keep asking the questions.
Marty Fish picking up some tips how to improve his clay court game. Played pretty well against Fernando Verdasco before finally succumbing in 3 tight sets this week.
Really cheap supply. Del Potro kicking himself not to at least make his opponent play the ball. It's been a frustrating match for him.
Out.
And he's, I have.
Mohammed swiftly getting over to the mark. Not too sure I can see too much there. Does get pretty roughed up around the baseline area.
30 pari, 30.
Always easy to identify a mark. Far too many unforced errors today from Del Potro.
40, 30.
That was his 29th in total. Means a second match point for Djokovic.
Use.
It's been one of the rare occasions that we've seen Djokovic go for the winner too early on in the rally. It's been a tough shot and pulled off.
Not a lot Potro can do about that.
Vantaggio. Djokovic.
Excellent point from Djokovic under pressure. Ripped it cross court and got a piece of the line. Was rewarded for his aggression. Will it be third time lucky?
Use.
Just a little nervy as he tries to close out this one, Chris.
It's getting a little bit tight, doesn't it? Knowing that Djokovic is getting a little bit tight, Potro got to make him play that shot.
Vantaggio Djokovic.
Well, he's got there in the end. Solid performance from the defending champion. Nothing more than that. A little disappointing from the number 5 seed. Again, not able to test one of the big boys, but Djokovic won't mind. He's safely through to the semi-finals. Well on his way to hopefully defending his crown. It's Djokovic in the straights, 6-3, 6-4.